Hey guys, this is Elder Scrolling. Today is my Magic Dragonknight solo build. I've soloed all arenas, world bosses, some trials, and vet dungeons with this build. It's not as tanky as a stamina Dragonknight, but it has a lot more healing. So I really like this build and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And before I get into the build, I just want to say thank you guys so much. I'm almost at 400 subscribers and I was hoping to maybe hit 500 subs before school is out, and the rate that we're going, I think I can easily do that and maybe hit 1K by the end of summer. And I really like posting these build videos, so I hope you enjoy it. And I'm just gonna get in the build now. Alright, so I have all points in a magic. You could go summon health if you wanted. And I'm running the Thief Mundus Stone for a crit chance. And then I am using tri-stat foods. You can use crown ones or the craftable ones. And I'm using tri-stat potions as well. And then I am running Pillar of Norn. So this is just a big damage over time AoE set. So when you deal damage over time, you create a fissure. Or when you deal damage, you create a fissure underneath the enemy. After 1 second, dealing 2,400 bleed damage to all enemies within 2.5 meters, causing them to bleed over time. So this hits insanely hard. This is one of the highest damage sets in the game. Maybe the highest. And that paired with the Malstrom Inferno Staff, that just makes your Wall of Elements deal more damage. You could go a Ice Staff if you want more tankiness. I'm using a one-piece monster set. I'm using Magma Incarnate for sustain, but you could use Zan or something for crit chance, and just another light piece. And then I'm running Pillar of Norn, and then False God. This is a great sustain set, as well as a little bit of damage and mobility. So I love this set for soloing, and if you don't have the False God, if you don't run trials and stuff, you can use a craftable set called Armor the Seducer. It's not going to give you the mobility, but it will give you the sustain. And that's a craftable set. So then all divines as well. And you restore magic when enemies die. And then False God, False God, False God, False God. So you want to go False God Armor for light armor. And then Pillar of Norn Jewelry. And then I'm using the Ring of Pale Order. This makes it so you heal for 20% of the damage you deal, reduced by 4% per ally in your group. So you can only use this for solo play. If you try and go into like a group with this, then you're not gonna get any healing, because you can't be healed by other people either. So that's gonna be really tough. So this is like meant for solo only. And then in the skills, I'm using the Standard of Might for a damage over time, and it gives a little bit of tankiness when it's active. And then Harness Magicka. This gives you magic back when you're attacked, but you could use Hardened Armor, which deals damage and gives you resistance. So it's up to you. They're both damage shields. And I'm using Barbed Trap. This is a damage over time that gives you 10% crit damage. If you're speedrunning something, if you want to try and get a speedrun, then you can use Accelerate. And you're not going to get as much damage, but you're going to be able to run around a lot faster with that. So it's kind of a preference thing. It's just up to you. And then I'm using Eruptions, just an AoE damage over time. And it reduces enemy movement speed. Then I'm using Unstable Wall of Elements. This is buffed by our staff. And then Elemental Drain, which just gives you more pen against enemies and restores magic. And then I'm using Ferocious Leap. This is not as much a damage ultimate as much as it is survivability, because it gives you a big damage shield. So that's kind of what that's for when you need it. And then Coagulating Blood is the heal. This is maybe one of the biggest heals in the game that's non-ultimate. So this is really great, and it gives health recovery. And then I'm using Flames of Oblivion, which gives you crit chance as well as fireballs at enemies. And engulfing flames is just a damage over time that increases damage taken, or increase enemy damage taken. And then draw essence. This is a really cool skill where you inhale the life force of enemies around you and then shoot out like a fireball. And it also restores magic based on the amount of enemies hit, and it heals you. So this is a really great skill, especially for solo. And then Molten Whip is just the spammable. It can give you up to 300 weapon spell damage just by using other skills. And if you use 3 other Flames of Oblivion, 3 other skills like Engulfing Flames or Flames of Oblivion, then this deals a lot more damage. And then in the champion points, I'm using Fighting Finesse for crit damage, because we have really high crit chance. Master at Arms for direct damage done. Deadly Aim for single target attacks. And Thaumaturge for damage over time. If you want, you can use Reaving Blows. Where is that? Reaving Blows. This gives you an additional 8% healing for the amount of damage you deal. You can replace that with Deadly Aim. And that'll make you a little bit tankier. And then in the red, I am using Siphoning Spells. You don't need this because you have the False God, but you just get more magic back. Rejuvenation for sustain, and then Fortified for a little bit of armor, and then Boundless Vitality for health. And then in the green, it's just Treasure Hunter, Rationeer, Liquid Efficiency, and Steed's Blessing. That's kind of whatever you want. It's a preference thing. So that's the build. Thank you guys for watching. And I really hope to reach 500 subs by the end of summer. And I really appreciate like every comment I get, every like I get on my videos. I respond to all my comments, and I like talking to you guys, the community, and I appreciate feedback. So if you have like suggestions or builds you want, then feel free to comment. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next build video. Thanks for watching.